revelations of incredible horrors that will terrify you with their brutal reality.
Hello, friends.
Hello.
Welcome to the Cinemondo Trailer Reaction Podcast with Kathy, Mark, and Burke.
Hi.
Talking about
What
trailers.
Morbius.
Yeah, there's a new movie coming out, guys.
You know, Jared Leto is such an interesting actor because he doesn't really play off his looks in movies very often. And I just saw a trailer for actually the Gucci movie with Lady Gaga.
Mm-hmm.
And he is in that and unrecognizable. Like so many prosthetics, so weird looking. And then right after that, I watched this trailer. I'm like, oh, thank God he still looks like
He's
God.
still human.
What is wrong with him?
He
so weird.
He likes to hide himself.
He does. He likes to disappear.
Right.
He does.
Yeah.
Playing against type, but he's not playing against type in this. And
Well, he does these really broad characters, too,
Sure.
that are really outrageous kind of characters.
I think he was-
Even a normal type of character, like his
Yeah.
character in the new Blade Runner film, which could have just been him,
Yeah.
but he was this real, intense character.
Or that Denzel Washington film, that serial killer thing. He just played
Yeah.
this wacky
Oh, right.
character.
Yeah.
That's right. He was so
I was like-
skeevy.
so let's check it out. This is Morbius.
Morbius.
Marvel.
A movie based on a comic book. That's kind of a cool idea.
Hey, they haven't done those very often.
Michael, I've...
Love him.
Yep.
To that.
Who's that guy?
Was that
Interesting. A little Michael Keaton action.
a little
Yeah.
Michael Keaton showed up? What is that?
Wow.
It's a different
Okay,
comic
so
book company.
I thought Jared Leto was going to be like super hot in this, but he does have his Jared Leto gotta look weird thing, so he's got the whole sick and he's just looking really bad, but he comes out of it.
But that's
Kind
the
of a-
character, right?
Yeah,
He's
it
just-
seems very sad. It's sort of a sad superhero story. I don't
That's
know.
cool.
Yeah,
I
I
think
like
it's
it.
kind
I
of
like
interesting.
tragic.
I like the tortured superhero.
Yeah.
I think that's much more
He's
interesting.
sort of a Doctor Strange kind of a character and a bit of Blade, and but it's it's a classic old comic book. I remember getting
That's
these
cool.
comics when I was a kid, Morbius.
They're
And
doing deep cuts.
yeah.
Going down into Morbius. I did like the title treatment at the very end, looking like little fangs that were
Yeah, and the blood kind of
was
fills
draining
in.
out it.
Yeah.
That was very cool. That was pretty cool.
So it's kind of it's a superhero, but you're bringing the vampire thing, which is much like Blade. So it feels that way, but I think it might be a little bit more oomph because Jared Leto brings something to it. Maybe you care for his character.
Yeah, I like the
Yeah.
emotional aspect of, he was really sick and he could barely walk. And then they're sort of like, well, what's the trade-off? Look at you. Like you're super strong and super hot, but you got to drink blood. And it doesn't look good.
I totally
And it's sort of
get
that, like, what would you sacrifice to just be
Yeah.
healthy? Not
Well, that
healthy,
is
but
that is the classic
I love
underlying
that.
theme of all
Yeah.
vampire stories. It's like
really
the
is.
torture of
you
living
can live forever.
Yeah, but when you live forever, there's a downside to that if you have relationships with people,
Yep.
humans, regular humans.
Right.
And also the idea that every once in a while you have to go out and kill people, there's always that.
Yeah.
And I wonder if he can't be in the daylight. Is it? I wonder if the same vampire rules apply.
It did
to
seem
him.
very
Yeah.
dark.
Yeah.
I don't think we saw him in any sun.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's fun to see a different take on
Yeah.
the vampire idea. There's been so many, and it's still kind of a open resource. I'm
I'm
still there
interested
for
in the
it.
more obscure. We see a lot of the big famous superheroes. There's a lot of those, but it's kind of fun when they kind of dive in and get one of those less loved, more obscure. And I think that intrigues me because I don't know a ton about Morbius, and this will be fresh. And I love vampires, so
Yeah.
it's a win-win.
It's an origin story that you don't know about because
Yeah.
every other origin story you kind of know.
Yeah.
Spider-Man,
Yeah.
Superman, stuff like that.
and the fact they keep making Spider-Man over and over again,
Yeah.
over and over. And we have
People
Matt
keep-
Smith, Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
Interesting cast. I mean, that's pretty cool.
Looks kind of fun.
I can't tell if there's a lot of overlap. Do we know if there's a lot of overlap with some other properties? Are they going to have some appearances? I'm trying to figure that out.
I think so.
For any of those
It's-
people, I'm trying to think what some of those people are.
It's from the early. I mean, the there's different branches of the Marvel Studios, and this is the one that has Venom. So
Okay. Oh, it's
a
Venom,
little,
right? Yes.
a little bit darker, I guess, darker
Yeah.
around the edges, sort of. But I think the idea is ultimately that all of the Marvel things exist in the same universe, but they're the X-Men movie. X-Men are Marvel, but they don't. They don't.
Well,
That's true.
The Sony produced ones like the Spider-Man films.
Yeah.
And,
Depends on who owns the
and even
property.
the old Fantastic Four stuff from like 20 years
Yeah.
ago that people
That's right.
forget about. That's not part of the the Marvel Comics universe to
That's
me.
true.
Even though maybe they'll try to mesh it together. I found it
think-
interesting that at the end you see Michael Keaton,
Yeah.
who's obviously the original Batman, which is a DC property.
He's also the
deal-
Vulture from the Spider-Man movies. I wonder if that's who he's playing in this.
Yeah.
Ah.
And this is Sony, so it's going to
Yeah.
be that universe.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But some people think that the explanation is that there's that whole, how they're really pumping up the whole idea of the multiverse.
Yes.
And the Loki, if you watch the Loki TV series, they establish the idea that there's different branches of reality. So I think what the idea is, and evidently in the new Spider-Man film, they have people like Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield are cast in the film, and people are like, "Oh, the other Spider-Man people, the other people who were Spider-Man exist in the same one with the new kid, So maybe there's another reality that has the X-Men in it, but not the Avengers, and then somehow the X-Men and the Avengers can meet, or
So
maybe
different universes are like which studio happens to be making
Right.
that version of it.
right.
the multiverse. Which
The multiverse of
Yeah.
Sony versus
Right. But that's a great way to explain how come
Why
the X-Men didn't show up to help in the Battle of New York in the Avengers
Right.
film. Like, where were
they
the
busy?
X-Men? Yeah. Where was the X-Men could have helped, but
So funny.
It's
But yeah, this
interesting.
looks fun.
It
Obscure.
looks good. I like Jared Leto as an actor, and I
Yeah.
think this one maybe is
Yeah.
a little more accessible because you kind of like some of his characters aren't very accessible.
right.
Oh, I
This one
am
feels-
actually sorry. I don't mean to interrupt, but Michael Keaton is reprising his role as Adrian Toomes from the Vulture from Spider-Man.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So he is.
that's
They are making
interesting.
that crossover. So they're
And there's
they're
no-
in that
there's no-
universe.
And there's no poster, right, Kathy?
I did
I
not
believe-
find the
yeah.
official. There's a lot of fan
Official.
stuff, but I haven't seen
Right,
official.
right.
So we can't talk about the poster, but we will next time.
Yes.
Cool. This movie looks like fun. Looks like
It
has a
looks
lot
like
of
fun.
looks like it has a lot of really cool props in it.
Yeah, like a superhero vampire is that'll be a very fun thing to see.
I had the
Yeah.
We
last
had a
shot
little
of
hint
him.
of him at the end, looking kind
Yes,
of
I thought it
transforming.
looked pretty
Yeah.
cool. It
Yeah.
looked pretty badass there. So
yeah, it looked really good.
All
Kind of
right,
like his
Morbius.
look in the comics.
That's right.
yes, exactly.
All right.
Morbius coming soon.
Okay.
We'll certainly
Bye.
talk about it later. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
The Earth is invaded by indestructible moon monsters.